Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play The Elder Scrolls III, Morrowind, Game of the Year Edition. In our last video, Feder chatted with more folks in Pelagiad, including Ulernil, with whom he did some trading. He bought a bunch of armorer's hammers and worked on his armorer's skill. It was quite amazing. And he also reached level 4, and is 1 point towards reaching level 5 already. Go Feder. We did miss a couple buildings because I rushed out of the halfway tavern and apparently saw Mabestian Ence's place and thought it was Ulernil's place and went, oh, well, we've seen that already, and I ran off to Fort Pelagiad because I was so distraught about the attribute damage that Feder took to his intelligence and willpower that I just want to find the healer and get that fixed. So we're going to do that right now, but rest assured, we will head back out into Pelagiad and see what we might have missed on the south side of town. But for now, Fort Pelagiad. And it is Pelagiad, not Pelagiad. I watched a Skyrim video after that last one because I was shook. And I feel better now. Hello, guard captain. You are not Yfga. How about you? You are Shadback Gra Burbug. You are also not Yfga. Where's Yfga? There's Yfga. Blessings of the Nine, Federmock. I am Yfga, Fort Pelagiad's healer and an adept of the Imperial Cult. I barter for potions and other goods, and can teach a number of spells. All proceeds go to the benefit of the Imperial Cult and its many worthwhile projects. Would you like to join the Imperial Cult? Did you have to use the word cult, though? Yfga, you guys, really? Well, we probably will be joining the Imperial Cult, but I think I'd like to learn a little bit more about it and how to get healed. So we're going to have a conversation with Yfga here. Tell me about the Imperial Cult. Pelagiad's Imperial Cult Shrine is here in Fort Pelagiad, behind that door over there. The healing altar cures disease and poison, and Yfga, the healer, sells cure potions. Aren't you Yfga? Are we doing the third person thing? Feder appreciates this lively conversation. Well, anyway, let's ask about potions now. Alchemists, apothecaries, and healers, as well as general merchants, sell commercial potions. These potions are easy and reliable, but costly. If you have training and skill in alchemy, and the necessary apparatus and ingredients, you can make your own homemade potions in the field. The 11 kinds of potions are Cure Potions, Restore Potions, Fortify Potions, Resist Potions, Aquatic Potions, Mysticism Potions, Alteration Potions, Illusion Potions, Detect Potions, Shield Potions, and Toxic Potions. Wow. Okay. And we're going to learn about all of them. Let's start with the commercial potions. Commercial potions are guaranteed effective. Most come in 5 commercial grades: bargain, cheap, standard, quality, and exclusive, increasing in effectiveness and duration according to quality and expense. Some potions come in only 1 grade. They produce a single effect and are guaranteed effective. Adventurers lacking magic skills must rely on potions, scrolls, or enchantments when they require the benefits of magic effects. Okay. Yeah, we've already used 2 standard potions of healing. They were fantastic. Sometimes casting a spell is just not really what you can do in a given moment. You might be out of magicka or something, so I would like to get more potions like that for oopsie moments. Tell me about homemade potions. To make homemade potions, you need skill in alchemy, ingredients, and the necessary apparatus. Ingredients can be collected from the animal bodies, plants, and the environment. There are 4 pieces of alchemist apparatus: mortar and pestle, alembic, calcinator, and retort. Alchemical apparatus comes in grades of quality. Higher quality apparatus is more effective and reliable. Makes sense. Okay, let's learn about these 11 kinds of potions, starting with Cure Potions. Cure Potions remove diseases and harmful conditions. Cure Potions include Cure Poison, Cure Common Disease, Cure Paralyzation, and Cure Blight Disease. Okay, how about Restore Potions? Restore Potions permanently restore attributes and abilities reduced by harmful spells or supernatural attacks. Restore Potions include Restore Strength, Restore Intelligence, Restore Willpower, Restore Agility, Restore Speed, Restore Personality, Restore Luck, Restore Health, Restore Spell Points, Restore Fatigue, and Restore Endurance. Looks like we'll be asking about the attributes as well, but not right now. Let's finish talking about potions. So next would be Fortify Potions. Fortify Potions temporarily increase attributes and abilities. Fortify Potions include Fortify Strength, Fortify Intelligence, Fortify Willpower, Fortify Agility, Fortify Speed, Fortify Personality, Fortify Luck, Fortify Health, Fortify Spell Points, Fortify Fatigue, and Fortify Endurance. Cool. How about Resist Potions? Resist Potions increase the subject's natural resistances to various harmful forces and conditions. Resist Potions include Resist Fire, Resist Frost, Resist Shock, Resist Magicka, Resist Disease, and Resist Poison. Let's go ahead and ask about Magicka real quick, because I feel like that might get lost in the shuffle. A creature's Magicka is a measure of its reserves of supernatural energies. Spellcasting creatures expend supernatural energies from their reservoirs when they create magical effects. This reservoir is replenished by resting and by other arcane methods. Okay, cool. So we just asked about Resist Potions. Next would be Aquatic Potions. Aquatic Potions aid the subject in movement and survival in an aquatic environment. Aquatic Potions include Water Breathing, Swift Swim, and Water Walking. Yeah, I would really like to get some of those water-breathing ones before attempting any grotto exploration. Okay, so that was Aquatic Potions. Mysticism Potions. Mysticism Potions provide beneficial magical effects from the domain of the Arcane College of Mysticism. Mysticism Potions include Spell Absorption, Reflect, Dispel, and Telekinesis. Fun. How about Alteration Potions? Alteration Potions provide beneficial magical effects from the domain of the Arcane College of Alteration. Alteration Potions include Burden, Feather, and Levitate. Interesting. All very cool. I'm not so sure about Burden, though. I'm not sure how practical that really is, but, well, maybe we'll find out at some point. Let's see. That was Alteration. How about Illusion Potions? Illusion Potions provide beneficial magical effects from the domain of the Arcane College of Illusion. Illusion Potions include Night Eye, Invisibility, and Light. Okay. Ah, yes, we have lost the list. Let's get it back. All right, now we want Detect Potions. Detect Potions provide magical means of perceiving certain classes of things in space. Detect Potions include Detect Key, Detect Creatures, and Detect Enchantment. How about Shield Potions? Shield Potions protect the subject from various forms of physical attack while injuring attackers in close proximity. Shield Potions include Fire Shield, Lightning Shield, and Frost Shield. And finally, Toxic Potions. Toxic Potions are potions with undesirable effects. They are not available commercially, and when found, usually represent clumsy or ill-informed attempts to make useful potions by unskilled alchemists. Toxic Potions include Drain Strength, Drain Intelligence, Drain Willpower, Drain Agility, Drain Speed, Drain Personality, Drain Luck, Drain Health, Drain Spell Points, Drain Fatigue, Drain Endurance, and Paralyze. Yeah, if you happen to find or make one of these, there's not really a whole lot you can do with it, because you wouldn't want to take it yourself, at least not in most cases, and you cannot force another entity to imbibe one of your potions, so that makes them pretty well worthless. I mean, you could always try to sell them. Fetter's pretty good with his mercantile skills, so who knows Okay, so we've talked about the potions. Let's talk about the attributes. A lot of them are listed out here, so we know that there are 8. We'll just start with strength. A creature's strength is its property of efficiently lifting, carrying, and manipulating objects. A stronger creature can carry a greater weight of armor and equipment and strike more powerful blows with hands and weapons. Okay, intelligence. A creature's intelligence is its property of reasoning, analysis, and retention of facts and experience. Other than its critical utility in problem-solving, this property is most important for the comprehension and manipulation of the arcane forces associated with magic, and creatures with high intelligence are proven to have greater capacity to cast larger and more powerful spell effects. i.e., intelligence equals magicka. Thank you, got it. How about willpower? A creature's willpower is its property of maintaining its purpose and identity in the face of hardship and malign natural and supernatural forces. A creature with strong willpower is better able to resist the effects of hostile spells cast upon it. Ah, it's spell resistance, basically. At least as far as this description goes. Cool. How about agility? A creature's agility is its property of coordination and mobility. For example, an agile creature is able to target its blows accurately and effectively. That sounds like plus X% chance to hit. How about speed? A creature's speed is its property of rapid physical articulation and body movements. A speedy creature is able to perform all physical actions from equipping a weapon to running long distances in shorter periods of time. Okay. Personality. A creature's personality is its property of exciting the emotions of interest, trust, and loyalty in other creatures. For example, a creature with a powerful personality is more able to persuade and influence other creatures through speech, gesture, and demeanor. Makes sense. How about luck? A creature's luck is its property of aligning itself with the subtle currents of fate and destiny. This is the most subtle of fundamental attributes, and can only be judged by observation of the favorable and unfavorable outcomes of a creature's actions over a long period of time. So it's woo, then. It's woo. You can just say that. It's alright. Well, luck does factor in to things in Morrowind. It would be nice to have a higher luck than the base 40, but I'm not going to be worrying about that for a while. And finally, for some reason, endurance, which is one of the 8, is over here, preceded by health and spell points, which we can't even read about, and fatigue. Whatever, let's ask about endurance. A creature's endurance is its property of sustained expenditure of physical energy and its resistance to bodily injury. A creature with greater endurance can withstand long periods of physical exertion without suffering from exhaustion, and is less likely to suffer permanent harm or death from disease or physical injuries. Cool. Let's go back up here to health. A creature's health is a measure of its capacity to withstand physical punishment. A creature with weak health succumbs easily to disease or injury, while a creature with exceptional health can endure and survive deadly diseases and injuries. So we've gone from talking about attributes to the measures over here. So that was health. We asked about magicka earlier because I didn't want it to get lost in all this, which, gee, I can't imagine why. And now we'll talk about fatigue, the green bar. A creature's fatigue is a measure of its capacity for extended physical exertion. The greater a creature's fatigue attribute, the longer it can run, swim, and fight. Sounds good. Okay, so we keep hearing about disease. Let's talk about that. In Morrowind, you worry about 3 kinds of disease: common disease, blight disease, and Corporis disease. Common disease isn't so bad. You can get cured at shrines or temples easily, but you need to get cured, or people don't want to talk with you. Blight disease is more serious, and potions and cures are harder to come by. Corporis disease can't be cured, and some say vampirism is a disease, but the only cure for a vampire is destroying it. Policy on vampires is kill on sight, or run on sight. That's scary. Okay. Well, tell me about common disease. There are 16 common diseases I've encountered on Vardenfell: rock joint, hell joint, whitbane, chills, serpiginous dementia, green spore, damp worm, rust shanker, droops, ataxia, wither, swamp fever, collywobbles, brown rot, yellow tick, rattles. We group their effects in 3 levels: mild, serious, and acute. Serious and acute are more dangerous, of course, but none of them are fatal. But you must get them cured, or they weaken you, and people won't want to talk to you. Okay, well, let's hear about these common diseases then. Tell me about rock joint. Rock joint is an acute common disease affecting a victim's manual dexterity. Symptoms include painful swelling and immobility of all joints. It may be contracted from the domesticated guar or dusky owlet. Tell me about hell joint. Hell joint is a mild common disease affecting a victim's mobility and dexterity. Symptoms include persistent irritation and inflammation of joints. It may be contracted from the girdle-tailed cliff racer. Gross. Tell me about whitbane. Whitbane is an acute common disease affecting a victim's memory and thought processes. Symptoms include loss of memory and disorientation. It may be contracted from the rat. Tell me about chills. Chills is an extremely dangerous common disease affecting the victim's mind and coordination. Symptoms include clumsiness and mental confusion. It may be contracted from the Bone Walker, Skeleton, Greater Bone Walker, or Bone Lord. That sounds nasty. How about serpiginous dementia? Serpiginous dementia is a serious common disease affecting the victim's mind and behavior. Symptoms include hallucinations and an itchy and unsightly scaly skin condition resembling snake scales. It may be contracted from the bullnetch and bettynetch. Tell me about green spore. Green spore is a serious common disease affecting a victim's behavior. Symptoms include irritability and violent outbursts, and may include mild dementia. It may be contracted from slaughterfish. Well, that's scary. I've been fighting a lot of slaughterfish out there. Ugh. Okay, how about damp worm? Damp worm is a serious common disease affecting a victim's mobility. Symptoms include uncontrollable muscle spasms and twitching. It may be contracted from the Nyx hound. Oh, that's our newest friend, Nyx hounds. Great. You can get damp worm from them. How about rust shanker? Rust shanker is a mild common disease affecting a victim's mobility and behavior. Symptoms include swelling and rash and painful muscle spasms. It may be contracted from the waste rat. Waste rat, is that any different from a rat? Apparently it is. Tell me about droops. Droops is a serious common disease that affects a victim's strength. Symptoms include weak and flaccid muscle tissues. It may be contracted from all forms and stages of quama. Well, keep an eye out for that. How about ataxia? Ataxia is a mild common disease affecting the victim's strength and dexterity. Symptoms include generalized pain and muscle stiffness. It may be contracted from slaughterfish. Another thing you can get from slaughterfish. Those fish are nasty. Ugh. What else here? Wither. Wither is a mild common disease that affects a victim's strength and endurance. Symptoms include loss of energy and shortness of breath. It may be contracted from dreg. Wonderful. Oh, we have talked about so many common diseases that we need to ask about them again. There we go. So we just asked about wither. How about swamp fever? Swamp fever is a mild common disease affecting the victim's strength and behavior. Symptoms include high body temperature and delirium. It may be contracted from the mud crab. The humble mud crab. Nasty, but at least it's mild. Okay, collywobbles. Collywobbles is a serious common disease affecting a victim's strength, endurance, and mobility. Symptoms include uncontrollable shaking and chronic weariness. It may be contracted from the fiery shulk. I don't know what that is. I guess we'll run into one eventually, and hopefully we don't catch collywobbles from it. Don't want collywobbles. How about brown rot? Brown rot is a mild, common disease affecting the victim's strength and behavior. Symptoms include necrosis and sleeplessness. It may be contracted from the Bone Walker, Skeleton, Greater Bone Walker, or Bone Lord. Wonderful. How about yellow tick? Yellow tick is a mild, common disease affecting a victim's strength and mobility. Symptoms include dark, bruise-like swelling, sensitive to touch. It may be contracted from the least kaguti. Okay, and rattles. Rattles is a mild, common disease affecting a victim's willpower and dexterity. Symptoms include muscle spasms and listlessness. It may be contracted from the Nyx Hound. Another wonderful thing to catch from Nyx Hounds. Great! Okay, so we've learned about all the common diseases here on Vardenfell, but we also wanted to learn about Blight Disease next. The 4 Blight Diseases I've seen here on Vardenfell are Shanker, Chanthrax, Blackheart, Ashwoe. They are all contracted from blighted creatures or from exposure to blight storms. You don't have to worry about blight storms unless you're entering the Red Mountain region. You need resistance to blight disease protections to go there. Okay, tell me about Shanker. Shanker is an acute blight disease affecting a victim's behavior. It may be contracted from Corporis beasts or other blight monsters. Wonderful! How about Chanthrax? What a name! What a name that is! Chanthrax is an acute blight disease affecting a victim's dexterity and mobility. It may be contracted from Corporis beasts or other blight monsters. How about Blackheart? Blackheart is an acute blight disease affecting a victim's strength and endurance. It may be contracted from Corporis beasts or other blight monsters. And Ashwoe. Ashwoe is an acute blight disease affecting a victim's will and thought processes. It may be contracted from Corporis beasts or other blighted creatures. Okay, understood. Lastly, in the list of disease stuff was Corporis Disease. Let's ask about that. Corporis is a rare form of blight disease. Sometimes Crusaders get it from fighting Corporis monsters inside the ghost vents. We can't cure it. Victims are sent to the Corporisarium beneath Tel Fyr, the tower of the Telvanni wizard Divath-Fyr. Victims go mad, and the body becomes fat and distorted with unnatural growths. It is always fatal. Sometimes it progresses slowly, sometimes in a matter of days. Wonderful! Let's ask about Corporis specifically. Corporis is a deadly disease profoundly affecting a victim's mind and body. Symptoms include dementia, violent behavior, and distorted, disfiguring skin growths. It may be contracted from Corporis beasts or other blight monsters. You forgot the period. There have been other typos throughout here too. Been some weird stuff. You don't have to worry about blights, storms, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh well, it's okay. This is quite an information dump. And I think we also wanted to ask about vampirism. Let's go ahead and ask about disease to get that whole thing back. So we've talked about common disease, blight disease, and Corporis disease. And yeah, that just leaves vampirism. Let's ask about that. I've heard some say that vampirism is a disease, but no temple or cult has ever been able to cure it, and I've never heard of a mage's spell that could cure it. But I admit, I've never encountered a vampire, and never thought about how to treat one. I think I'd be more worried about getting away from one than curing it. And I don't know how it is in the rest of the Empire, but here, we know vampires are terribly dangerous and evil, and we'd destroy them on sight if we could. Well, that's just prejudiced. I mean, you ever tried talking to one? Come on. If you've never encountered one, how do you know? Huh? Well, anyway. Okay, well, that was a fun talk about disease. So speaking of disease and damage and stuff, I would like to hear about the healing altar that you mentioned. You may pray at Imperial Cult healing altars and receive blessings which cure common and blight diseases, cure poisons, and restore attributes. Non-members pay 25 drakes. Newer members pay 10 drakes, while higher-ranking members receive blessings for free. Healing altars are found in Vivec Foreign Quarter, Wolverine Hall in Sadrith Mora, Fort Buckmoth, Fort Moonmoth, Fort Pelagiad, Fort Darius, Aldrune Guild of Mages, and Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. Strange that there would be a Imperial Cult healing altar in a Guild of Mages hall. That's strange, but okay. I guess the Guild of Mages is Imperial in origin, so perhaps that tracks. Well, I think we've heard some pretty good information here, and now, especially given that you can get a discount on using the healing altar if you join, maybe it's time to talk about joining the Imperial Cult. Before we do that, let's go ahead and ask these three, and now Morrowind lore, that we ask everybody. So, have you heard any good rumors? We've heard that rumor as well. Do you have any advice for Feder? No, you don't. Nothing that Feder hasn't already heard. How about a secret? Nope, that is not news. Do you know any interesting Morrowind lore? Slavery is protected by law in Morrowind. Slavery is illegal throughout the rest of the Empire, but some Dunmer still defend their ancient right to own slaves. In Morrowind, slaves are bound by enchanted slaver bracers. The bracers drain the magicka from the slaves so they can't use magic to escape. Unless you have a key, you can't get the slave bracers off. The Emperor should put a stop to slavery, but the Dunmer claim the right to own slaves is guaranteed by the armistice. It is, but I don't care. I'm gonna free every slave I find, and if the native Dunmer don't appreciate that, they can talk to my sword or something. I don't care. It's unacceptable. All right, well, I think. Oh, hey, what do you think of Nels Lendo? While we're chit-chatting. We've heard that. That's nothing new. Okay. I think that pretty much everything else has been discussed. There's still a little bit more, and we'll get to it. But let's go ahead and talk about joining up. Join the Imperial Cult. We accept all citizens of good character and earnest faith. We ask only a one-time pledge of 50 drakes to aid us in our good works. Thereafter, the only cost of membership comes when you use our health, healing, and blessing shrines. Modest fees which help us spread the blessings of the Nine to those less fortunate than ourselves. Do you wish to join the Imperial Cult? Or would you rather I review the Imperial Cult requirements and doctrines with you before you join? Unfortunately, you can't, you are forced to choose one of these two things right now. I can't start talking about other stuff mid-ultimatum, basically, because like if I were to click health, nothing happens. I don't even know if that's been queued up or something and she'll say it after the ultimatum ends or what, but well, I would like to hear a little bit more about what I'm signing up for, I believe, so review the requirements and doctrines. To serve and glorify the Nine Divines, you must cultivate a noble personality and a strong will. Respect the magical arts, especially the colleges of Restoration, Mysticism, and Conjuration. Those who swear to avoid bloodshed, to take the field unarmored, to fight only with blunt weapons, are especially praiseworthy. Knowledge of enchantments and the gift of diplomatic speech are other qualities we look for in our initiates. Continue. Our doctrines are simple. We acknowledge the divinity of the Nine Divines: Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, Julianos, and Tiber Septim. We preach the 9 virtues: humility, inspiration, piety, work, compassion, justice, ambition, learning, and civility. Our Emperor is the defender of the faith, and the Empire is the worldly working of the divine plan. We pledge aid and comfort to all citizens in need, and serve the Emperor and Empire at his will. Continue. Our rules are equally simple. It is forbidden to attack another person of the Imperial Cult, and of course forbidden to kill another cult member. It is forbidden to steal from another member, whether by open theft or by covert pickpocketing. It is forbidden to trespass upon the private property of another member, private property being understood to be anything behind a locked door. Break any one of these rules, and you shall be expelled from the cult. Now, Federmach, do you wish to join? I really would like to ask about all this stuff you just opened up for discussion, but that's not an option right now. And I happen to know that if we say, no, I don't want to join right now, I want to talk about more stuff, we will lose 5 disposition with Yfga. We're going to join anyway, so let's just go ahead and do it, and we'll circle back around and ask about all these 9 divines and stuff. So here we go. Feder is joining his first organization. Yes, I wish to join. You are now a layman in the Imperial cult. Welcome, Federmach, to our community, and may you rejoice in its blessings. Can I tell you about our services? Or, if you can donate more time and effort, would you like to become a lay servant? 50 gold has been removed from your inventory. Your journal has been updated. For my gods and emperor has been added to your inventory. Your journal has been updated. A lot going on here. Well, let's go ahead and ask about services real quick. You can find Imperial cult services in Fort Buckmoth, Fort Moonmoth, Fort Pelagiad, Fort Darius, Wolverine Hall in Sadrith Mora, Vivec Foreign Quarter, and Imperial chapels in Ebonheart. Seek training at Wolverine Hall, Fort Buckmoth, Fort Moonmoth, Ebonheart Imperial chapels, Governor's Hall in Caldera, and Ald Velothi Outpost. Many Imperial cult locations have healing altars. Yes, and you've indicated that Fort Pelagiad has one as well. I'm very interested in that. ASAP. Let's see here. What about the Empire? You want to talk about that right quick? The Empire is the greatest achievement in history. Thanks to the Emperor, the legions, and the rule of law, we've had peace and prosperity for centuries. That's a good thing, I assume. You mentioned these 9 divines. Tell me about that. The official religion of the Empire, the Imperial cult, worships the 9 divines. The 9 divines are the Aedra Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and the divine god hero Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. Okay. Was there anything else through here? Nope. Now we'll just talk about these 9 divines. Tell me about Akatosh. Akatosh, the dragon god of time, is the chief deity of the 9 divines. Cool. How about Dibella? Dibella, the goddess of beauty, is the most popular god of the 9 divines. In Cyrodiil, she has nearly a dozen different cults, some devoted to women, some to artists and aesthetics, and others to erotic instruction. Hello? How about Arche? Arche, god of the cycle of life and death, is the deity associated with burials and funeral rites, and is responsible for the progression of the seasons. His priests are staunch opponents of necromancy and all forms of the undead. Tell me about necromancy real quick. In the Empire, body and spirit are protected as property and may not be used without permission of the owner, and public display of the living dead is widely prohibited. But necromancy itself is not really illegal. So kind of a technicality kind of thing. Gotcha. Okay, so we just asked about Arche. Tell me about Zenithar. Zenithar, trader god and patron of work and commerce, is the deity of wealth, labor, commerce, and communication. His priests have shown that the way to peace and prosperity is through earnest work and honest profit, not through war and bloodshed. Okay, so he's like the Monopoly man. Got it. Tell me about Mara. Mara, goddess of love, is the mother goddess, patron of the bountiful earth, and source of mortal compassion and understanding. She is associated with Nur of the Anuad, the female principle of the cosmos that gave birth to creation. Interesting. How about Stendar? Stendar, god of justice and mercy, is the patron of righteous might and merciful forbearance. He is the inspiration of magistrates and rulers, the patron of the imperial legions, and the comfort of the law-abiding citizen. Cool. How about Kinnereth? Kinnereth, goddess of air, is the deity of the heavens, the winds, the elements, and the unseen spirits of the air. Patron of sailors and travelers, Kinrath is invoked for auspicious stars at birth and for good fortune in daily life. All right. And Julianos. Julianos, god of wisdom and logic, is the deity of literature, law, history, sorcery, enchantment, and alchemy. Monastic orders founded by Tiber Septim and dedicated to Julianos are the keepers of the Elder Scrolls. That is some serious business right there. That's a big deal. The Elder Scrolls are, very important. Super MacGuffins. And how about Tiber Septim? Tiber Septim, Talos, the Dragonborn, heir to the seat of Sundered Kings, is the greatest hero god of mankind, and worshipped as the protector and patron of just rulership and civil society. Okay, well, thank you for that information. Let's see. We're not getting any farther up than that. Well, I think this was added. Requirements, let's ask about that. Our favored attributes are personality and willpower. Our favored skills are speechcraft, unarmored, restoration, mysticism, conjuration, enchant, and blunt weapon. To advance a rank, you must have at least one skill, your highest of our favored skills, at the required primary skill level for the new rank, and at least 2 skills at the required favored skill level for the new rank. Okay. Wow, this is a long list of topics. I'm just gonna, I don't know why I went to the bottom to start with this, but actually, do you have any information about a specific place, perhaps? No, she says the same thing that all the other citizens of Pelagiad say. That's okay. That helps us know what we can skip. And I'm just reviewing all these because it's a lot, right? Oh, we didn't ask her about her background or her trade or anything. Just kind of got straight down to business there. What is your background, Yfga? I'm Yfga, healer and adept of the Imperial Cult. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about being a healer. I am a healer. I have sworn solemn oaths in the College of Restoration to heal the afflicted and cure the diseased. But I have also studied both the unarmored martial arts of the Khajiit and the light-armored and blunt weapon styles of the Imperial West, both for self-defense and for disabling or killing dangerous opponents. I sell spells, and I am a spell maker who creates spells to your specifications. I can also teach you in my skills, for a fee. Okay. And that's why we review stuff, because I missed that. We hadn't heard about it. In fact, this opened up martial arts. Tell me about martial arts. The unarmored martial arts traditions of the Marshmarrow, Salt Rice, and Golden Reed societies of the Dissident Priest, patterned on the Rain of Sand fighting styles of elsewhere, are slow to be adopted in the Empire, associated as they are with the ascetic renunciation of worldly wealth and material goods, and the rigid disciplines and mystical philosophies so alien to the Imperial West. Holy run-on sentences, Batman. Dang. Okay, well anyway, let's keep going up and see if we missed anything. So far, so good, I think. Because we asked about fundamental attributes, right? You know, I'm not sure we did. We were told about them, but we didn't ask about this topic specifically. The 11 fundamental attributes of natural and supernatural beings are agility, endurance, fatigue, health, intelligence, luck, personality, speed, strength, willpower, magicka. Scholars and sages of the 6 magic colleges are familiar with these fundamental attributes from the works of the earliest Aldmeri philosophers, and the concepts have been adopted by all the other scholarly disciplines of Imperial culture. Huh. I don't know. To me, the attributes are agility, endurance, intelligence, luck, personality, speed, strength, and willpower. Throwing health, fatigue, and magicka into that is kind of goofy. It's conflating the term, you know, it's watering down what attribute really is. But okay, nobody asked me. Anything else here? Anything else? I don't believe so. Looks good so far. Yeah. All right. Wow, that was a long discussion. Oh yeah, and by joining, I guess we gained 9 points of disposition with Yfga. That's cool. Will you barter with Feder, or are you going to complain that he's got illegal stuff? You will have to get rid of that moon sugar if you want any services from me. I don't want any trouble. Yeah. How about spells? Same thing? Same thing. Nobody wants to trade with Feder when he's carrying junk. Well...
Seen any elves?
I don't see the humor in that, but Yfga sure thought she was hilarious. Let's dump the moon sugar and the skooma. I don't have anything illegal. Rightio. Let's see, what do you carry? You carry potions and a few herbs and stuff. I want some healing potions. I'm not going to buy these restores right now. Well, restore health. That is actually the point, isn't it? Bargain restore health. They are cheap. I'm just not sure how helpful they're really going to be. Do you have something a little stronger, perhaps? That's Fortify. Cheap restore health. It costs 3 times as much. But I think we're going to want that. Let's keep looking. Oh, that's it. Okay, well, let's buy all 5 of them. Why not? Why not? It's not a big... That's expensive. You know what? We'll just do it. Pay 60 for that. You won't let me, huh? Well, that stinks. Fine. Whatever. I don't feel like playing a game with her right now. I don't want to do the persuasion thing right now. We'll explore that later. At the moment, I'm content to... take a look at her spells, which are... There are quite a few here. Oh, restore spells. These would be great to pick up once Feder's got a little more money. I don't know if I want to be blowing it on spells just yet, but these restore spells are very useful. I mean, the moment I noticed that his intelligence had been damaged, I could have cast Restore Intelligence had I purchased it already, right? So that would be cool. And we're going to do that so that when Feder's out and about, he doesn't have to go, oh no, I have to run back to an altar or something. We're going to get all those restores with time. But for now, you mentioned an Imperial Altar around here somewhere.
Adventure lies beyond the cities, friend.
I know it does. And, okay, well, there it is. Looks like people leave offerings here. That's nice. We'll leave those alone. We won't take those. We can get real money elsewhere. Imperial Cult Altar. Would you like to make a donation of 10 and receive a blessing? Hey, at least it's cheap. It would have been 25 if we hadn't joined. I know we're still behind because it cost 50 to join, but whatever. Yes. Restore attributes, please. Wonderful. That didn't do anything. They're still damaged. Let's try that again. It's only 10 gold. It's okay. Okay. Now they're looking right. What if we throw that ring back on? Okay. So now Feder has been made whole again. And the ring is actually buffing him instead of just bringing these attributes back to where they would be had he not taken some kind of attribute damage. That is a weird mechanic. I guess the altar's like, well, I mean, everything looks like it ought to be. Nothing is red, so we'll just move on. We'll have to keep that in mind anytime we're doing restores and stuff, because that might happen again. And that stinks. That costs an extra 10 gold. Boo. And what do we have here? Ordo Legionese. Oh, that's just some reading. It didn't do anything for any of Fetter's skills. That's okay. But this is definitely for story time. Not right now. Okay, so Fetter just learned a lot about a lot, and he got his attributes restored. Hooray! We'll talk to more folks in Fort Pelagiad in the next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.